What's up, folks? Ethan here at Hunt Ford in Franklin, Kentucky, and today we're taking a look at the 2023 F-150 Tremor. Now, we did do a video talking a little bit about the differences between the 23 model years and the 22 model years, and we had a lot of interest on the 22 model year Tremors that we got last year, so we figured we'd do a follow-up series for this year. The biggest change for the 23 model year Tremors is actually the engine option. So Ford did something smart, and they finally listened to the fans, and they actually made the Coyote engine available on these Tremor trucks. So that is the standard engine option on these 23 F-150s. This truck in particular is an Avalanche Gray Tremor that is a 401A mid package, so it's pretty well equipped. But what we're going to talk about in today's video is which engine should you get on the 2023 F-150 Tremor. Should you go for the old tried and true Coyote V8 engine, or should you get the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6? But before we get started, if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and do so down below and hit that notification bell. We got a bunch of new F-150s that are going to come out for this 23 model year. We're going to have over 40 of them in stock on the lot, ready for us to check out on video. We're going to post plenty more videos just like these. You're not going to want to miss it. And if there's anything you want to see in particular, let us know down in the comments and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions. But enough of me sitting here talking to you. Let's check out the engine options on the 2023 F-150 Tremor. So again, this one to my right here has the 3.5 liter V6. That's not the standard option on these Tremors, but we haven't got one of those in just yet. But what I do have is I have this F-150 that's a 22 that we did a special Ford performance upgrade of our own, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a separate video here in the next week or so. But what this one has that this one doesn't is it's got the 5.0 Coyote V8. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these both for a quick drive and bring you all with me to let you all kind of see what the big difference is gonna be. The big update for the 2023 model year is that both of these have the same horsepower. So there's 400 horsepower on the right and 400 horsepower on the left. The biggest difference is gonna be towing and kind of torque control, as well as a little bit of a sound difference. So the big difference is really going to come down to which one you prefer more than anything. So let's go ahead and take them both for a test drive. So to start off, we are in this Atlas Blue 22 F-150. It's an STX with that performance kit that we added ourselves here at Hunt Ford. We're going to do a quick little review of that in a later video, talking about what all has been changed to this truck. The big thing to keep in mind here is that we have 35-inch tires on this vehicle. That's not what's going to be standard on the Tremor, but it is going to give a pretty close approximation of what a lifted with different suspension truck is going to drive like. But this one has the 5.0 V8 Coyote engine. Now this is the standard engine option on all of the 2023 F-150 Tremors. Doesn't matter which package you get, this is going to be standard. So we'll talk a little bit about why you would want to get that one, some of the specs about that one, and we'll go from there. So the biggest reason I think that you would want to get the F-150 Tremor with the 5.0, aside from the V8, is just cost. It's not going to have an extra additional cost to that engine. So you can get the standard engine. It's a little bit easier to order. You know, you don't even have to change anything that much. All right, so let's talk power. For the 5.0 V8, you're going to have 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. That's not bad. That's the same horsepower as the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6. However, that one's going to take the win when you talk about total torque. That's going to give you about 520 pound-feet of torque versus the V8's 410. So a little bit punchier, a little bit more, you know, oomph when it comes to taking off, but they have the same horsepower. Everyone can talk about power and towing and stuff all day long, but there's just a feeling when you're driving a V8 versus a turbocharged V6, and it's just, you know, here, let's listen. You can't get a V6 to sound like that. It's just so much deeper, so much nicer. So if you really don't need the extra power or extra towing ability for the 3.5 liter, I can see why you would want to get the standard engine. Now keep in mind, this doesn't have the upgraded exhaust that is on the Tremor. This is just a standard exhaust system with a different exhaust tip. That tip adding anything to that sound. So that what you hear is just pure engine sound. Once you get an upgraded exhaust, it's going to sound a little bit meatier almost, and that's going to be really noticed on those standard engine option Tremors. This is about the biggest reason why you're going to want to get that standard engine option. Just in general, the engine sounds better. A lot of people are still really wanting that V8 just purely for the sound and because it feels more like an American-made truck. All right, so we're driving the F-150 Tremor that we have available with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. We talked a little bit about power, but let's just listen to the difference in the sound. As you can tell, the V8's just gonna sound a little bit better. Power-wise, you're gonna be about the same. This again has 400 horsepower. It will have more torque at about 500 pound-feet of torque versus the 410 pound-feet of torque of the standard V8. However, towing is kind of where you're gonna think that this has a little bit better of an edge. But we've talked about this with the Super Duty. The Tremor package kind of limits your towing capacity from what Ford says it can handle. As far as we can tell, both engine options on the F-150 Tremor for the 23 model year will be able to tow up to 10,900 pounds. Not really seeing any documentation that there's a difference between the tow rating on the EcoBoost versus the 5.0. That might change in the future, but from what we can tell now, there is no difference in the tow rating. That said, you have to assume, based on the history of the F-150, that the towing is just a little bit better with the 3.5. So in my opinion, if you're going to tow a little bit more, this 3.5 is going to handle that a little bit better. It's just proven in the history that it gets up to speed a little bit faster. It handles that weight a little bit better than the 5.0. So what that means is that the engine decision is going to kind of come down to your personal preference. Which did you rather have? The EcoBoost is gonna probably get 4 to 5 miles per gallon better, but there's also going to be a little bit more of a price add. So we will see kind of what people prefer more in the future. If it were me, I'd probably stick with the 3.5, but I do completely understand those people who absolutely want to hear that V8 while they're driving. So it's really going to come down to which engine you prefer. If you really are a little bit more cost conscious, or you prefer that sound of the V8 on the Coyote engine, we're going to point you in that direction and say you should probably get the standard engine option on these Tremors. But if you do a little bit more towing, want a little bit better fuel economy, we're gonna point you in that V6 direction, just so that you can get kind of the best of both worlds. Again, both of these are true workhorses for Ford. They've done great. We've heard nothing but really good things for the last few years. So you let us know down in the comments which one you would prefer and why. As always, thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. We've got plenty of F-150 videos coming out in the future. Stay tuned for the review on the Ford Performance Black Appearance and Level Kit. We're gonna do a quick video on that here in the next few weeks. That's about all I've got for you today, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you later.